Okay, so here we are. So what is this session on? It's on finance, paisa. Okay. So there are two input sessions. The first input session is the spiritual part of it. So I will take the spiritual part of it. The Christian view on finance, and the second is more practical, which Valence will give. He is qualified to speak on that subject. So he will speak on the practical aspects, what you do with your money. So I think the first reason why most of us have come here is what to do with my money. You know, I've got so much money, I've got so little money, or I will have money. So the question is, what to do with my money, right? So I want to begin with, I want to lay some basic spiritual principles on finance, money, resources. And what I will share, most of it is not only on finance, but on any resources which you have. So let us say we have talents, we have abilities, we have time. All these are our resources and how we use them. So money or finance is one of the resources we have, and our whole question is, what do I do with my money? What do I do with my time? What do I do with my talents? What do I do with my skills or various things? Okay. So what do I do with my money? The whole question is wrong. Okay, the question is wrong because it is not your money, it is God's money. So our question should be, what should I do with God's money? Let's look at some verses. Psalm 24:1 says, the earth is the Lord's and everything in it is His. Again, Psalm 50:10 and 11 will say, God is saying, the wild animal in the forest is mine. The cattle which you have is mine. You don't have cattle, you have other forms of money. You know, in those days, money was in the form of cattle. All that moves in your field is mine. If I was hungry, I would not tell you. That means if God wanted an animal or God wants your money, He doesn't have to tell you. All the world and all that is in it and all your money which is there is God's. So the Christian view or the Christian principle of finance or any of your talents or any of your assets is, this belongs to God and you are a caretaker. Married people, they say, these are not your children, these are God's children. God has given you to take care of them. This is not your money, you are a caretaker. Okay? Let's look at one small Bible passage and Matthew 25. All need not open. Tresha will read for us Matthew 25 verses 14 to 30. And this is a story of, that story that one man went on a journey and then he called 3 servants, and one fellow he gave 5, second he gave 3 talents, and the last fellow he gave 1 talent. Okay, now this first fellow was smart. He put it in all what Valence will tell you in the second half. He put it in shares, he put it in stock exchange, he put it in here, there, and he made 5 ka 10. Second fellow was also smart. He had got 2 talents and 2 ka he made 4. Now what the third fellow did? He had 1 talent. What he did? He dug a hole in the ground and he safely put that full salary which he got, he put it in his house. He dug a hole in his house, he put it in his cupboard, and when the master came back, now let us listen to Matthew 25 verse 24. So the first person said, okay, I made it double. Second person said, I made it double. He was very happy. He gave him more responsibility, more talents, better promotion in the job. And the third person, verse 24, when he came, now this is a representation, the manager or the boss is God. The person who received the talent is you and I. Okay? Now this person says, verse 24, the person who has received the talent.
Then the one who had received the 1 talent also came forward, saying, Master, I knew that you were a harsh man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you did not scatter seed.
Okay. This one is talking about whom? About God. You are a harsh man. You always say, no, God is love. He is kind. He is merciful. But when you hide your talent, when you do not grow your finance, when you do not grow your talents, you do not grow your abilities, he is a harsh man, strict person. What it says? Reaping where you did not sow. Now suppose this is the field. Now he is sowing seeds here. Now where he is looking for crops? Not only here but also here. Arey Baba, you didn't sow seeds here, how I'll give you? No, I am a demanding person. So I gave you a salary of only so much. I expect you to make so much. Understood? God is a harsh person, reaping where you did not sow and gathering where you did not scatter. Many times we say, no, we are Christians, no? We should not put money here. We should not put money there. I'll tell you that also where you should not put your money. But God expects you to develop all the resources He has given you. Continue verse 25. So this Christian, this charismatic was afraid. Verse 25.
So I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here you have what is yours. But his master replied,
And this is what God will say to you.
You wicked and lazy slave.
My God. I don't want God to tell me wicked and lazy. I am such a holy person. I am doing every good thing. And on judgment day, God will say, you wicked and lazy. I gave you this much and I wanted so much. Wicked and lazy. Continue.
You knew, did you, that I reap where I did not sow and gather where I did not scatter?
Yeah. So you should have invested money. Okay, I'll continue. You should have invested my money where Valence will tell you. And you should have grown it. You should have grown it. And so then he punishes him. He punishes him. Okay. First part. What should I do with my money? What is the answer? It's not your money. It is God's money. God has given you to take care. And as a good steward, as a good manager, we have to take care of God's money or any other resources. Now second question is money good or bad? Suppose some ancestor dies and you get 10 crores. You know what will happen? I'm warning you, Matthew 19:24. It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than if you get 10 crores, right? Right or wrong? So, question is, if I become rich, is it bad for me? Is it bad for my soul? Is money good or bad? Okay. Very often we think money is bad. It is not money which is bad. It is the love for money which is bad. That is 1 Timothy 6:10. 1 Timothy 6:10. It is the love of money which is bad. And you will see in the Bible many stories are there where rich people, because they are rich, are able to do good things. For example, the Good Samaritan. He found an injured person and what he did? He took him to the inn, he gave money. He could do so many things because he was rich. There are many people who are helping Jesus with money because Jesus didn't have a full-time job, no, in the last 3 years. First he was a carpenter. So how you know that? Because Judas was in charge of the money, no? So where the money came from? People gave. Even for Paul, people gave money. So money is not bad. What is bad is the love for money. So where do I draw the line? How do I know? Okay, what is the difference? Now God is saying, take money, be a good steward, handle the money, grow your money. On the other side, He is saying it is difficult, even easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for you to have a lot of money. You have to take care, and I will give you some tests to check whether your love for money. So it is like obsession. I am obsessed with money. It is top of my mind. It is driving me. So test 1. How do you measure whether you are obsessed by money, money is controlling you? Test 1. You know, God is generous, no? He gives, He gives, He gives. So test how much you give. Test how much you give. If you are ready to be generous like God, what is the opposite of generous? Conjuice, stingy, you're holding, greedy. I'll also tell you that you should not give everything and how to give, how much to give. But you have to be careful with a balance. But how you give and your attitude in giving is very important, and that is the test to tell whether you are obsessed with money. 2 Corinthians 9:7, each one must give as you have made up your mind, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. Give small amount but give happily. Don't say, if I don't give this much, God will punish me. Second test is, when I don't have money or I have less money, can I walk in faith? God will take care. If God takes care of the birds in the sky, the lilies in the field, He will take care of me and my needs. We have to take the necessary action. We have to go for promotion. We have to grow our money. We have to think of various things. But also, when we don't have resources, that is the time of test. Do I believe that God will supply? Or are we so tense and stressed, my mediclaim is not enough, my insurance is not enough, my fixed deposits are not enough, I don't have enough money for my house, I don't have enough for my marriage. So are we stressed with that? Another test is, suppose you lose something valuable. Check your emotions. What are your feelings? Do your emotions go out of control? You see some elderly persons in our house, when they don't find their gold chain or their gold earrings, they will drive the whole house mad. Suppose you lose your iPhone. Suppose you lose something precious. Okay, that emotions which you will have. I remember the first time I was pickpocketed, I just could not control it. I was so angry with that person. But then what is our attitude towards money? ठीक है गया. Okay, we feel bad. We should feel bad. Otherwise we'll lose everything. We'll keep losing everything. But let that not control you so much. That is called obsession. Test 4. Your attitude when you pay taxes. Are you abusing the government? Are you cursing? Be grateful that God has given you enough money that you can pay taxes. Okay? God has provided you. Don't try to hide money. I will talk some more guidelines on this. Don't try to hide. Don't try to avoid taxes. Okay? We need to do what can be done legally to avoid taxes. Valence is an expert on that. But let us not hide our finances. Let us not use wrong means, generate wrong bills to produce and hide our taxes. Now I said give money, no? Where to give money, how much to give money, what to do with money, some general guidelines, okay? Now there are 3 areas, what Jesus said, no? Love God, love neighbor, and love yourself. So give God, give neighbor, and save for yourself, right? 3 areas. So first is, we have to give God some amount of our money. Second is, whatsoever you did to the least of my brothers, that you did to me. So you have to give your neighbors or the people in need. And the third is, for your own self, you have to save money for yourself. Okay, so giving God. Why do you give God? I know everyone will give. If you pass a bag around someone, everyone will put money. But why do you give God? If I don't give God, God is going to punish me. I will lose my job. I will not. Is it out of fear? Don't give out of fear. Is it because I will get a blessing? Many preachers say, you give God and God will give you. No. Why do we give God? Because of love. I love God and so I give. Not because of fear, not because of some incentive. I love God and I give Him freely, cheerfully, because I love Him. Donation is not a ticket to heaven. Some big program we have, and then we ask for donors, no? So sometimes we get very big donors. But I'm really afraid a donor should not think, if I give 1 lakh for a program, my seat is secure in heaven. No. Your seat is not secure in heaven. How you live your life secures your seat in heaven. Your money, why you gave that 1 lakh? Because I love God. I love His kingdom. I want His kingdom to grow. Out of love I give, not out of fear and not out of expecting a big blessing. God looks at our hearts and not at our pockets. Give unconditionally because I love the Lord. Unconditionally. Of course, the spiritual principle holds good. When you give, God gives you back. That spiritual principle holds good. It is a spiritual law. When you give, God will give you back. Many years back, the Lord told me, you build my house, I will build your house. So from that time, I'm busy building God's house, and God is building my house. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
So you build His house because you love Him. So it is good that we have a discipline. Okay, for the last at least 30 years of my life, when I get my salary or when the salary gets credited, immediately within the next 3 to 4 days, a fixed amount goes to certain people. Okay, now whom to give? Now first we are talking about God. Okay, the first place you need to give is the local church you belong to, where you get your sacraments, where you are baptized. If you die tomorrow, where you will be buried. That upkeep of the church, what we call as church support, that is the first place you need to give. Whether you like it or not, you don't like your parish priest, you don't like something, you don't like the way the money is handled, okay, you need to give. That is the first place you give. And if you are giving a big amount, make sure you are getting a receipt. Okay, I once fought with the whole church office because they did not give me a receipt. You are giving your money, you should get your receipt for the money. Okay. Second place you need to give is what nourishes you, where you get your spiritual growth. So if it is the CCR, if it is the YU4C, you have to give the place where you give your spiritual growth, where others can experience God. Just as you are experiencing God, that money can be used for others to experience God. If you belong to another church association, another youth association, and that is helping your spiritual growth, you have to give to that place. I'm not saying give us the money. Give the place where spiritual nourishment is there. For some people, God will call you for a special calling, maybe to help certain kind of ministries. For some people, it may be called to support a full-time minister. This person has left his job working full-time, so support that full-time minister. So it's a different calling. But if it's a bigger calling, take time. Don't go into a hasty decision. Maybe you can commit for 6 months first, 1 year first. Don't say, all my life, I will give a percentage of my salary to you. I did that to one person. All my life, till I was earning, I gave a percentage for a full-time minister. But that was my calling, and it was not a hasty decision. I took my time. And all money which will be given, either to the poor, as a family you have to decide. I spoke to my wife, we agreed, and then we gave. Okay, some of you are not married, but after you marry, whatever money you are giving, even the money you give God, it has to be in agreement. Okay, 100 rupees, 200 you give someone, it's okay. If someone comes and asks me for a loan, I want 5,000, I want 10,000, I will discuss with my wife and only then give the money. So it is a family decision. Okay, there are many times we don't agree. We think this person doesn't deserve, should not give here, and we don't give. And there are times when we have given very big amounts for a person in need, because as a family we felt this person we should reach out. Okay, it is a family decision. Many people say a 10% rule. They use the word tithe, tithe is 10%. I did not find the word tithe in the New Testament. Okay, there is no word called tithe in the New Testament. What New Testament says? Give generously. Okay, so 10% rule is Old Testament rule. There are many other rules. Some give 30%, some give another percentage. I say give generously. If everyone is giving 10%, I love the Lord little more. So I always give a little more than 10%, not because it is a rule, but because if everyone loves so much, I will love little more than that. Okay, so that was my rule, but this is not a compulsion. If you don't give any money, God will not curse you. You will not lose your promotion. You will not lose your blessing. If you don't give any money all your life, nothing bad will happen to you. Okay, so if you have heard any teachings like that, they are wrong teachings. God never asks for money. You love God, you give money. Clear? I know I've disturbed some people's old thinking, but I'm challenging you from the Bible to show me from a New Testament that God demands money. God does not demand money. Then second is love of God. Second is love for your neighbor. Okay? Now, whatever you did to the least of my brothers, that you did. Some person in need. You find there is some person in need, you have to reach out. Now what to do? There are so many things. No, home for the aged is there, orphanage is there, studying of priests is there, your relative who is very poor is there. So whom to give this money? How do you divide your money? So you have to prayerfully think. You cannot give 100 rupees, 100 rupees, 100 rupees to 10 people or 50 people, right? So you have to decide, okay, prayerfully. God will give you inspiration, God will give you burden, where to give money to the poor. Okay, it is good to give to a registered association which uses money in a proper way. They can show, how they have used the money, or they can give you a proper bill which will have your income tax benefit for you. So it is good to give money to the poor to a proper registered organization. Now there will be, okay, I'll come to that later. Charitable institutions, okay. Sometimes we will have a poor relative, okay, one of our relatives who is very poor, so you can think of helping that person also. Always think of your parents, grandparents who are in need of money. Sometimes they may already have a good financial backing, but they need some money from you. That is how that is how the love language which they at that age experience. Some part of your money for elders. Okay. Now we come to the third part. Love of God is over. Love of neighbor is over. Third is love for yourself. So today you are young. Today you are strong, and tomorrow you will not be strong enough. Okay. So you need to save money. Okay. Save a fixed amount of money every month. What we do? Salaries come, spend. Last whatever is left, save. Change it. In the beginning of the month, you say, for example, I am not giving this rule to be followed. 10% I will give God, this percent will go into saving, and my remaining expense I will have this much. Those who have just started working, your parents are paying the taxes, your parents are paying the bills, you have no expenses. My rule, you need not follow. 10% for God, 80% should go into saving. How much is left for you? 10% is enough for your expenses. Okay, but it may be different for you. As time goes and your responsibility increase, that amount of saving will reduce, and your personal expenses will increase, because then you'll buy a house, you'll have a loan, okay, various other things. Let's look at Genesis chapter 41. Now this story also we have heard, where the Pharaoh got a dream. Okay, this is of Joseph in the Old Testament. Pharaoh got a dream, and he saw there were 7 fat cows. Okay, so there were 7 fat cows, and after that they were grazing in the field, and after that came 7 thin cows, ugly cows. Okay, and what happened? These thin cows, what they did? They ate the fat cows. How can a thin cow eat the fat cow? So there is a meaning behind that. Then there were grain of wheat. So 7 full grown grains of wheat, fat ones, and then there are 7 thin ones. So the thin ones ate up the fat ones. What is the meaning of that? So Joseph of the Old Testament interprets as saying there will be 7 years of plenty, lot of crops, lot of blessings will come, and after that will come 7 years of famine. You have to save for the 7 years of famine. So he says, appoint overseers, appoint people who will take care, and they will gather 1/5 of the amount, 20% of the grains, and store it, and it will be under the authority of Pharaoh. No one can steal it, no one can remove it, so that the land will not perish at the time of famine. Your time of famine is going to come. Okay, there will be an age when you cannot work, a retirement. There could be health issues. There could be case like COVID. There could be war. Tomorrow there may be a time when you will need money. Okay, Situations are going to change. Don't think you will remain healthy all your time. Situations will be good all the time. During COVID, companies were forced to remove people. Many people lost their jobs. Okay. So after some time, they got their jobs back. But it does not mean that, what situation will come, we do not know. So we need to save for those 7 years of famine, those difficult times. You also need to understand this principle that as you are growing in seniority in your company, your salary is increasing, right? Your salary is increasing, your experience is increasing, your salary is increasing, and there will become a time when a person half your age and half your salary can do the same job what you're doing. My boss used to always tell me, when we used to go for a cup of tea, actually, what both of us are doing, he was a very good friend of mine. One MBA with 5 years experience can do that job in 1/3 of our salary and faster than us. And he was right. Now today what you are doing, you are finding it very good, efficient and a limited salary. Your salary will increase and one day the company will say, thank you very much, bye-bye. Okay? And you may not reach the retirement age as your parents or others are reaching. We do not know what situation will come. So at that time, are you prepared? Okay, now your savings, loving yourself, your money has to be divided into different parts. Okay? Save money. Okay? This money is safe. Now suppose so much is the money I'm going to save for myself. Okay? What is safe money? Whatever happens, this money is safe. One thing I know is nationalized bank. Money is safe. State bank mein dala to kuch nahi hoega. Balance is expert in that. I'm not commenting. Then there is low risk, medium risk, high risk. Okay? If you put your money in this state bank, inflation will run faster than you. Know what is inflation? The cost of the vada pav you're eating will be more than your interest. So you will not be able to earn enough. So you have to take some risks, low risk, medium risk, high risk. Okay? Putting in mutual funds is risk. Okay? Tomorrow market crashes, all your money is gone. Okay? So where do you put your money? You have to take some part of this and put it in high risk, medium risk, low risk. Now where you put how much, that is up to you to decide, also depending on your age. If you have just started working, you can take more risk. If you have got a housing loan, lesser risk. If you have got a family, if you have got a sick elderly person, lesser risk. So, but each person has to think and divide your saving into safe. There has to be amount which will be safe. There has to be a time, at least some amount which in case of emergency, tomorrow you lose your job, tomorrow something happens, you have that money to take care of yourself. There was this engineer in my office who was a very good person, excellent engineer, but he got addicted to investing in the stock market. And as he would tell us, no, I know I will lose, but I just can't help it. And he used to take money from all of us friends and put in that, and he used to lose money. Very good engineer, very high salary. He became a beggar. I'm telling you, he became a beggar. He had taken money from so many people. Excellent engineer, excellent salary, one of the best IT companies. Beggar. What he did, he went to Dubai. I went to my sister's place 2 years back. That time I met him. So because he could not pay all the loans back, he went abroad, he earned well, he cleared all the loans. And then what happened? Dubai stock market. Same addiction, love for money. Okay, last I want to just take some points on 2 more points. Wrong ways of earning money. Okay, illegal ways of earning money. There are illegal chit funds. Okay, if you have been investing or your family members have been investing. Okay, I'm not going into deep. Don't use illegal just because you get more money. Anyone heard of Malaika Multi-State Cooperative Credit Society? Okay, when everyone was giving 8% interest, they were giving 12% interest. So what to do? Remove from state bank, remove from stock market, remove from there and put People put money, lakhs and lakhs of money, especially senior citizens, and they belong to a particular religious community and a religious state. Okay, so attachment was there. Apna gaon ka hai, so they put all their money in that, and of course they went into trouble. And when they had to give back, they could not give back. My close relatives, okay, my close relatives invested at least 80 lakhs, more than 80 lakhs. All gone in one day. What they did, they lodged the case, he is arrested, he is in the jail. Did you get your money back? Just because you're getting more interest in something, don't put your money. Even if it is a legal thing. Think whether this institution will hold, will be able to pay you back. Okay, now for saving taxes, wrong bills, receipt, hiding income, illegal means, not for Christians. Okay. My CA would tell me, God is not looking. You can do it, God is not looking. I said, no, God is looking. Okay, my God looks. Pirated software. Your computer at home, how much of pirated software you have? Okay, you have to buy licensed software. How much of office stationery you're using? Okay, excessive, even for God's work. Photocopying, books after books, this thing, that thing, okay, for your prayer group, whatever. So, some organizations allow certain things to some level. But be careful, don't use too much of office stationery, not good. Are you spending more than what you're earning? No need of asking this question. No? Look at your shoes, look at your clothes, look at the things in the cupboard. Now, some of you are married, some of you will get married. And, when you get married, what that fellow did, when we dance our first dance, that smoke has to come, that suit has to be the designer, even my best man's suit should be at least 15,000 ka. So you spend, but what you can afford. Okay, I know at least 3 to 4 of my close friends, relatives, Vayufosi people who have taken loans and spent for their marriage. What a beautiful marriage and what a miserable life after that. Think, yaar, think. Okay, marriage is one day. You have to make your future. You have to make a house. You have to save money. Spend on your marriage how much you can. If you're doing well, please spend. Invite me also. But if you're not doing well, think, why you need to invite so many people? Why you need to buy such expensive clothes? Why you need to spend so much? Yeah, just because others have done. Keep it simple if you need to. Okay, now people will ask for money, loan. Okay, in my initial days, when I first started my job, one person came crying to me saying that, now schools have started, I don't have money to pay the fees, I don't have, school bags have to be purchased, books have to be purchased. He came crying to me. So I gave him, how much money you gave him? 1 full month's salary I gave him. Then next month what happened? He said, next salary I will give you. So I went to him. He said, this problem, next month. Next month again I went to him. Next month again I went to him. Who's suffering? I am suffering. Who took the money? He is enjoying. Then I stopped asking him. Then I asked others, why you gave him, yaar? He's a drunkard. In 2 days you would have finished your money. So when people ask you for money, okay, which will happen because you're earning, be very careful. You may feel sorry for the person. You may feel bad for that person. So I made a principle for myself. I'm not saying you should follow it. I made a principle for myself. If someone asks for money and I and my wife have to give money, I think that money is gone. You may say, I'll give you back. How much I can afford to give? I can afford only 2,000. He came asking 10,000, I can afford only 2,000. Okay, I give only 2,000. So whatever you give, you imagine that you will not get it back. Otherwise, you will be the most sorrowful person. This is my practical experience. You may have other experiences. There are many good people who return. Especially close family you can give. But I'm just telling you a principle which I have learned the hard way. Not from one people, multiple people. People will come and take money, and not because they are bad people, but they are stuck in such a situation that they cannot return your money. And that money you have saved either to buy a house or for something. And many people have told me, I gave money thinking he'll give back. He promised me, he didn't give. And it will happen to you. So whatever money you are giving, Tell him you want it back, but at the same time, at the back of your mind, be clear there are good chances you will not get it. Then don't increase your blood pressure and don't start abusing and that. Mentally, you should, my principle, you need not follow. Okay, you should be aware what is Mediclaim, what is insurance, what is nominee, what is Mediclaim. I had a team of engineers, and every year the company gives you a Mediclaim, let us say 5 lakhs. So they have elderly people in the family. So if an elderly person falls sick, he has to be admitted in the hospital, and that Mediclaim company will pay the bill or reimburse the bill. Now company gives you a top up. That email comes and people neglect because they are busy with work. And what happens is there's a period in which you can increase from 5 lakhs to 7 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. All my team would not do that. And every year, someone or the other's parent would fall sick and the expense would go above 5 lakhs, and then that person would cry. I said, why didn't you increase? Why didn't you top up your Mediclaim? Why didn't you handle this? You knew your parents are elderly. I didn't know about it. So you should know what is Mediclaim. Mediclaim is medical company pays for your bill, but you have to, every year, every month, you have to pay a certain amount to the company. Insurance, you should know about your insurance. If you're married, if you have a family, tomorrow, if something happens to you, there has to be a money which will come to them. Life insurance. Nominee is what? All the money which you have put, whether it is fixed deposit, where is it, there has to be something saying, if something happens to me, my money goes to this person. If you're married, it has to go to your spouse. I'm just giving you a brief so that, because I know there are some people who don't know this at all. Most of you know it, you are a mature group, but at least start thinking about it. Our favorite, last 2 lines. My financial decision, such a nice session we had today. Can I delay my decision? No, I'm a little busy with work. Can I delay my decisions? We all have a, beginning with me, have a habit of procrastination. After 1st January 2025, I will do everything early. Okay, there is no tomorrow. Start today, start now. Okay, everyone should start now immediately. Also, many people are afraid, can I take help from secular people, non-Catholics? No problem. You can take help. Okay. I just made some more points. Okay, everything covered. Done. I covered everything, whichever I had. Okay, praise the Lord. Thank you. God bless.